can't continue to keep hurting people and nothing ever happens.
Everything in life, you're gonna have people that are bad and people that are good. You have to choose your side.
Puffy, Puff Daddy, Diddy, Sean Combs, all of these reincarnations, all of those name changes are attached to really bad deeds.
Your favorite villain?
My favorite villain? I kind of like Diddy.
Most people think 50 Cent's two-decade war with Diddy was just typical rapper beef, petty drama, ego clashes, social media trolling for attention. But here's what nobody understood until now. This wasn't beef. This was a calculated investigation disguised as entertainment. While the world laughed at baby oil jokes and shopping trip memes, 50 Cent was quietly building a federal case that would shatter one of hip-hop's most powerful empires. And the Netflix documentary that just dropped proves something terrifying. 50 saw the monster hiding behind the mogul 20 years before anyone else dared to look. Before we dive how deep this really goes, smash that subscribe button right now, because what you're about to hear will completely change how you see hip-hop's power structure forever. Let's rewind to where this entire nightmare began. Early 2000s, 50 Cent had just survived 9 bullets to the face and body, left for dead in Queens. His voice was permanently damaged, career nearly destroyed, but somehow he clawed his way back.
I'm not an angel. You know, I've done some things, and when I got shot, it was like karma. What goes around comes around. You know, I've been blessed with the opportunity to change my life.
And during those desperate, broke days when nobody wanted to touch him, guess who came calling? Diddy himself. According to multiple sources, including former Bad Boy artist Shine, 50 was ghostwriting verses for Puff Daddy during this period. He crafted bars for tracks like Let's Get It while barely scraping by, hoping this connection would open doors. 50 needed Diddy's platform. Diddy needed 50's raw talent and street credibility. It seemed like the perfect trade, except it wasn't. The moment 50's beef with Ja Rule escalated, the moment things got too hot and too real, Diddy vanished. Distanced himself completely, used 50's pen game when it was convenient, then tossed him aside the second their association became a liability. That betrayal planted the first seed of resentment. 50 felt exploited, used like disposable labor by someone who claimed to be a mentor. And if you know anything about Curtis Jackson, you know he doesn't forget, ever. But what turned professional disappointment into personal hatred happened at a wedding, and it's one of the strangest moments in hip-hop history. Chris Lighty's wedding reception. Industry executives, artists, and power brokers everywhere. 50 Cent standing there minding his business when Diddy walks up with an offer that stopped him cold. According to 50's own account, Diddy said something along the lines of, "Why don't we go shopping? I'll pay for everything."
He said something to me one time, a long time ago, at Chris Lighty's wedding. He told me to take me shopping. I looked at him like, what you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
On the surface, that might sound like a generous gesture, except 50 immediately recognized something deeply wrong with how it was delivered. The tone, the energy, the implication. He later described his reaction. "That's what a guy says to a girl, not another man." 50 joked that this was Diddy dipping his toes in the baby oil, testing boundaries to see how he'd respond. And from that exact moment, something clicked in 50's mind. This wasn't just about music or business anymore. There was something fundamentally off about Sean Combs, a pattern of behavior that didn't sit right. And once 50 notices something, he doesn't let it go. He watches, he waits, he documents everything.
I asked 50 about that. He said you did the same thing to him. You asked him to take him shopping.
Yeah, I thought he needed some clothes.
By 2005, 50 Cent was no longer struggling. He was a global phenomenon. 7 #1 singles, over 20 top 10 hits. His G-Unit label was signing both new talent and established veterans. And one of those veterans was Mase, the former bad boy golden boy who'd walked away from rap to become a pastor, only to return hungry for a comeback. Mase wanted out of his bad boy contract. Everything seemed ready to move forward. until Diddy stepped in with a ransom demand that exposed exactly how he operated. According to 50's interview on Howard Stern, Diddy demanded $2 million just to release Mase from his contract. Not a reasonable buyout, a hostage situation. Mase had already fulfilled his contractual obligations years ago, but Diddy refused to let him go without extracting maximum profit. It was predatory. Mase himself later confirmed this publicly, describing how Diddy kept him stuck at the bottom while everyone else became bosses. "He didn't want me to grow into anything," Mase explained. "Just another cog in the bad boy machine, generating revenue while being denied respect or fair compensation."
All my awards went to Puff. I wrote all those songs. They never give me credit for that. For 20 years, I've been taking the shorter end of everything to just make things go the way they needed to go. If you think about even, doing music with Puff, the real golden era of Bad Boy, I was spearheading. Biggie made it, and I'm not, Biggie.
Taking away, right? You're not taking away
nothing.
nothing.
Biggie, I'm nowhere near Biggie.
Right.
I'm saying when Biggie passed away, and the company is in ambiguity, it was my pen that made Bad Boy rise to the occasion. It was my style. To the point you think I was following Puff, and that was my style. I'm being number 2 on my own intelligence.
This wasn't isolated. The Lox had similar battles, other artists whispered similar stories. A pattern emerged of Diddy building his empire by controlling and exploiting the very talent that made him rich. And 50 saw it all, watched how Diddy operated, took mental notes, and decided someone needed to say what everyone else was too scared to admit. So in 2006, he dropped a bomb that changed everything. The track was called The Bomb, and it didn't just take shots at Diddy's character, it accused him of knowing exactly who murdered the notorious B.I.G. and staying silent to protect himself.
I think somebody was trying to kill me. I've been waking up paranoid, like really scared. I'm just paranoid. That's just the way I am. You know, you be seeing me, scared to death.
50 rapped. Puffy know who hit that Nia, man. That Nia soft. He let them boys from the west side break him off. It was the boldest, most dangerous accusation anyone had ever publicly made. At the time, most people dismissed it as typical rap beef hyperbole. But looking back now, especially after watching the Reckoning documentary, those bars feel disturbingly prophetic. Because the evidence suggests Diddy's relationship with Biggie wasn't the brotherhood everyone believed. It was transactional, strategic, and when things got dangerous, Diddy protected his own interests first. Consider the facts. Diddy was the primary force fueling the East Coast versus West Coast rivalry that directly led to both Tupac and Biggie's deaths. When Biggie was murdered in March 1997, Diddy played the devastated best friend on camera. Tears, tributes, the iconic "I'll Be Missing You" that topped charts worldwide. But here's the detail that still haunts people. Biggie's funeral was reportedly paid for out of Biggie's own estate, not by Diddy, not by Bad Boy Records, by the dead man's money. If that's true, it says everything about where Diddy's priorities actually were. 50 Cent wasn't making wild accusations, he was connecting dots everyone else refused to see. But before we continue, hit that like button right now if this is already blowing your mind. Because the vodka wars and what happened with Daphne Joy are about to show you how personal this really became. By 2007, Diddy had partnered with Diageo to become the face of Cîroc vodka. It was a genius business move that made him one of the wealthiest figures in entertainment. So naturally, 50 Cent saw an opportunity to twist the knife. In 2016, he launched Effen vodka as a direct competitor. He started calling Cîroc puffy juice, mocking its grape base compared to Effen's wheat blend. He posted memes showing Cîroc bottles gathering dust on shelves. He trolled Diddy relentlessly on Instagram, turning the vodka rivalry into daily entertainment. And it worked. Effen's market share grew while Cîroc's cultural dominance started slipping. But as vicious as the business competition became, nothing prepared anyone for how deeply personal things were about to get. Because Diddy made one move that crossed a line 50 would never forgive. Daphne Joy, model, actress, and most importantly, the mother of 50 Cent's youngest son, Cîroc Jackson. She and 50 dated briefly between 2011 and 2012, splitting shortly after Cîroc was born. They co-parented from a distance, keeping things relatively quiet for years, until 2021, when photos started surfacing of Daphne on luxury vacations with none other than Diddy himself. Yachts in exotic locations, private jets, the full billionaire treatment, and social media exploded. 50's initial response seemed almost amused. He posted their photo with the caption, "Nah, me and Puff fight over business. If he liked the girl, he liked the girl. I don't care." But anyone who knows 50 understood that calculated calm was dangerous. He followed up with another post showing himself with their son Sire, joking, "Oh snap, that's your mommy over there with Puffy." Then, in March 2024, everything exploded. Music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones filed a federal lawsuit against Diddy, accusing him of operating a sex trafficking ring. And in that lawsuit, Daphne Joy was named as one of several women allegedly receiving monthly payments from Diddy to help recruit others into his circle. The internet went nuclear. 50 Cent immediately went on the attack, posting, "I didn't know you was a sex worker." He filed for full custody of Sire, claiming the environment around Daphne was unsafe for their child. Daphne fired back hard, calling his accusations complete lies and denying any illegal activity whatsoever. But for 50, this became proof that Diddy's pattern of control extended to manipulating the people closest to his enemies. Dating rivals' ex-girlfriends wasn't random. According to the documentary, it was a deliberate power move. And that's when 50 decided talking wasn't enough. Diss tracks weren't enough. Social media jokes weren't enough. It was time to bring out the nuclear option and expose everything to the world in a way Diddy could never escape. December 2025. Netflix drops a 4-part documentary series titled Sean Combs, The Reckoning. Executive produced by Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, and from the first frame, it's clear this isn't another typical celebrity downfall doc. This is a surgical takedown 20 years in the making. 50 didn't just slap his name on the project for clout, he actively built it from the ground up. He connected producers with key sources who'd stayed silent for decades, too terrified of Diddy's power to speak publicly. Former bad boy artists, studio engineers, party attendees, industry insiders who witnessed things they could never unsee. The documentary is masterfully structured, walking through over 30 years of Diddy's rise from Harlem intern to global mogul. But the most shocking element? Footage that Diddy himself recorded in the 6 days before his arrest. He was so convinced of his own invincibility that he documented himself constantly, planning to edit it into a triumphant comeback story.
It's the middle of September and there's still no indictment.
Then you have to have a spokesman. You have to have some sort of comms to constantly be pushing that, Mark. Because you may just be a person that you just may watch CNN. So you at the wrong place looking to see what the people with the possible jurors are thinking. It could be somebody that has dealt in the dirtiest dirty business of media and propaganda. I don't know what level of brokenness, disease is going on. God told me to do nothing, so I gotta do what God told me to do. Ain't no one I want to.
In those clips, Diddy comes across as cold, detached, and disturbingly self-absorbed. At one point, he compares his struggles to Jesus Christ, saying, "You're witnessing Jesus walking on water. I can only compare myself to the Son of God." The documentary exposes patterns that went back decades. The 1991 City College stampede that killed 9 people at a Diddy-promoted event, financial manipulation of artists, the systematic way he allegedly used women as tools of control, dating his rivals' exes to assert dominance. Then there's Kim Porter, Diddy's longtime partner and mother of 3 of his children. She died suddenly in 2018 from pneumonia. Officially, it was tragic but natural. But conspiracy theories have circulated ever since, with some claiming an initial coroner's report suggested poisoning before being changed.
I need to know, do you think that Diddy killed Kim Porter?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because of all the videotapes, because of the book, because of all the people she gave copies of her book to, or at least chapters, because of everything that she had on him, because of the tape that she used to blackmail him into a relationship and into a raise. of him being sodomized by Andre Harrell. And I am not saying that allegedly, because I heard her and Kim Muir talking about it in the booth of the bathroom while snorting cocaine at the Kit Kat Club.
Hey.
These claims remain unverified, but the documentary explores why so many people still have questions. Cassie Ventura's lawsuit detailing years of alleged abuse is examined in painful detail. Dawn Richards' allegations about witnessing violence backstage add another layer. The infamous freak-off parties lasting days, allegedly involving coercion and control, are discussed by people who claim to have been there. Every episode builds tension, connecting past behavior to present charges. Not celebrity gossip, a crime story. But one massive question haunted everyone. How did Netflix legally obtain footage Diddy never authorized for release?
50, how'd you get it, and what does that scene show? Well, I mean, you know, you're a journalist, Harvey. Harvey, you would not disclose your sources. We usually don't. Yeah, but I got it.
The mystery surrounding that footage became its own controversy. Diddy's legal team claimed it was stolen, but director Alexandria Stapleton stood firm, insisting everything was legally obtained through proper channels. Then cinematographer Obes spoke out. According to him, a third party leaked the footage, someone with access to Diddy's personal archive who saw what was coming and decided the world needed to see it. Diddy's obsession with documenting his own life backfired catastrophically. He'd spent years filming himself constantly, convinced his legacy needed to be preserved. Instead, that footage became a psychological profile of a narcissist who genuinely believed consequences didn't apply to him. And then, September 2024 happened. Federal agents arrested him in Manhattan on charges of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation for prostitution. The man who'd evaded consequences for decades was finally in handcuffs. The trial became one of the most watched legal proceedings in entertainment history. Federal prosecutors laid out a case alleging Diddy ran a criminal enterprise using his businesses as a front. The defense argued prosecutorial overreach, claiming consensual adult activities were being criminalized. In July 2025, the jury reached its verdict, guilty on 2 counts related to prostitution charges, but surprisingly acquitted on the more serious racketeering and sex trafficking accusations. It was a split decision that left both sides claiming partial victory. The judge sentenced him to 50 months, just over 4 years in federal prison. He's currently serving his sentence at Fort Dix in New Jersey, reportedly working as a chaplain's assistant. The irony hasn't been lost on anyone. Either way, Diddy's empire is shattered, his reputation destroyed, his legacy forever tainted. And through it all, 50 Cent watched from the sidelines, not celebrating, but delivering a message that needed to be heard. After the verdict dropped, 50 went on record with something that stuck with me. He said, "If I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as hip-hop is fine with his behaviors." Read that again. For 20 years, hip-hop stayed silent about Diddy. Powerful artists, executives, and media figures all knew something was off, but nobody spoke up because Diddy had too much money, too many connections, too much power to challenge safely. 50 Cent refused to participate in that silence. While others showed up to white parties and smiled for cameras, 50 was cracking jokes that weren't really jokes, making accusations that weren't really accusations. And when the time was right, when the legal system finally moved, he provided the platform for victims and witnesses to tell their stories. The documentary's proceeds are reportedly going to organizations supporting survivors. This wasn't a cash grab or revenge project, it was accountability. Of course, not everyone sees it that way. Marlon Wayans recently defended Diddy publicly, attacking 50 for kicking a man while he's down. 50's response was brief and brutal: "Keep my name out your mouth." So here's the question you need to answer in the comments right now. Do you think 50 Cent went too far? Or was he the only one brave enough to expose what everyone else ignored? Drop your thoughts below, because this conversation is far from over. Look at the timeline with fresh eyes. 1999, How to Rob, introduces 50 as fearless. 2002, the shopping incident raises red flags. 2005, the Mace situation exposes predatory contracts. 2006, the bomb accuses Diddy of knowing about Biggie's murder. 2024, constant warfare keeping Diddy's name in headlines. And finally, 2025, the Reckoning documentary that brings it all together. This wasn't random beef. This was a 2-decade investigation disguised as entertainment. Every joke, every diss track, every Instagram post, breadcrumbs leading to this moment. While the world laughed at baby oil memes, 50 was documenting evidence. The documentary shattered Netflix records in its first week. 21.8 million views, a 90% Rotten Tomatoes critic score. It became a cultural phenomenon because it finally confirmed what so many suspected but couldn't prove. 50 Cent doesn't just win beefs, he ends legacies. Ja Rule's career never recovered. Now Diddy's reputation is dust. When Curtis Jackson puts you in his crosshairs, it's not a moment, it's a life sentence. Some call him petty, others call him persistent. But watching how this all played out, maybe the right word is prophetic. Because 50 saw the monster everyone else called a mogul, and he refused to shut up about it until the world finally looked close enough to see what he'd been pointing at all along. Is 50 Cent hip-hop's greatest detective, exposing corruption nobody else would touch? Or is he its most savage enemy, destroying people for personal satisfaction? Maybe he's both. Maybe that's exactly what the culture needed. What do you think? Drop your comments below. And if you want to see what other names are connected to this scandal that nobody's talking about yet, the next video breaks down the full list of people who suddenly went silent when Diddy got arrested. Check it out now. This video discusses allegations, lawsuits, and legal proceedings involving Sean Combs. Some claims presented are from court filings, some from documentary sources, and some remain unverified or disputed. Sean Combs has denied many allegations against him. Viewers are advised to make their own opinions based on available information and ongoing legal developments.
Like Biggie liked Tupac. They were cool. And then Diddy was jealous of Pac. Diddy was jealous of Pac because Pac was everything he wanted to be. You know, he was charismatic. He was truly like a poet that could make you understand where he was coming from. You did not have any sort of similar life experiences to him at all, but he could express himself in a way that brought you in. No matter where you came from, there was real connection there. He could build and he could bring together real community, right? And so for that, he was loved, he was instantly accepted, he was praised. And if you're someone like Diddy, you see that and you're immediately jealous of it. It's everything you want to be. He's good looking, he's young, he's successful in a way that comes from his effortless talent and his hard work. He's everything that Diddy wanted to be, and that Diddy knows he isn't or wasn't. You know, Tupac was a rapper. Do you know what I mean? Like, Diddy, I know Diddy want to rap. Ooh, Diddy want to rap so bad. One of the most dastardly things this documentary has done in some of the editing is just showing Diddy dance for no reason. You can tell Diddy not talented from the way he dancing. I know it's a harsh statement to make, but Diddy dances. Diddy dances like Tom Cruise from Tropic Thunder. Like Diddy. And Tom Cruise was on rhythm. You know what I mean? Like Diddy was over here in the documentary. Like he was trying to land a plane. I was sitting there like, what am I watching? This